Welcome to Play Lickers. Today we're going to kill two birds with one stone. Haha. So actually what we're going to do is, I've already cut up one chicken. We're getting ready to, I'm going to show you guys how to cut a chicken, and then we're going to actually be able to make stock with that too. So two birds, stock. Haha. Anywho, so you might be wondering, why am I going to cut up a whole chicken? They sell whole chickens already cut up. Well, a couple reasons. One is a whole chicken is a lot less expensive and usually on sale than either a whole chicken cut up, or if you just buy a pack of breast and then you buy the legs and then you buy the thighs, and now you're talking about a lot of money. Wings, they're really expensive. They used to be the cheapest part, but go figure. Now they're one of the most expensive. But what we're going to do is we're going to cut up this chicken, and our bonus is we get a back in here, and that's going to be for our stock. So the first thing we want to do is we want to just start with our legs. We're going to just make a little slit here in the skin. Okay, I'm not cutting the meat, I'm just cutting the skin. So we're going to cut the skin on both sides, and what that's going to do is it's going to allow me to kind of look down in here. Can you guys see down in there? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to reach under this chicken. See, I'm reaching under this chicken, and I'm going to pull these legs out, and we're popping. I don't know if y'all heard that. I could feel it, but we're popping out the bone. Can y'all see that? Let's see if I can see the bone right there. So now all we're going to do is we're going to come over here, and you can see, I don't know if you guys can see this, but you can see right down in there where it kind of attaches to the back. So all we're going to do is we're going to slice right down into that, right on that little line that connects that. And we are going to cut this right off. So now we have our leg. Now we're going to come over here, and we're going to do the other one the same way. I'm sorry that you guys can't really see this exactly, but let me turn this around. I don't know if y'all can able to zoom in on this to be able to see. I wish I could kind of make it. I'm trying to turn this thing so you guys can see, but I'm probably not doing a very good job of that. So I'm going to just go ahead and cut it. Maybe at some other time when I get a little bit better camera, I can do a close-up. But then what we're going to do is we are going to cut our wings off. Now with the wings, you just have to kind of feel in here, kind of next to, you can kind of feel the joint right in there with your thumb. You can feel where it comes up to it. So what we're going to do is we're just going to come in here, and we're going to cut right in this joint. And look, they get a little bit wet. So you have to kind of be careful when you are cutting these, because you surely do not want to cut yourself. So now we have the wing, and I have a little cloth over here. I might need to. All right, so we're going to come back over here. Let me feel you. It's on the breast side, okay? Yeah. Let me dry my hands off. It might be better if you before you guys start, to take a paper towel and kind of dry your chicken off. But right there is where our wing is. So now we've got that done. Now what I'll do is I can come over here and show you guys how to cut the leg off of the thigh. So the chickens have fat lines. Can y'all see that fat line right there? So that's kind of like a diagram for you. So the fat line is where you're going to, let me get these wings out the way. Well, you know what, before we do that with that, I don't really like to cook with these little tips. So the tips, all you do is cut them right off. Now, the other good thing about these tips is throw them right in your stock. Okay, so we've got our wings done here. Now with this thigh, again, right on this fat line that you can see, that's where we're gonna cut. And if you cut the fat line a little bit closer to the leg, that is right where that joint is, right there. You'll be able to cut right through that joint, okay? So turn it over, again, so you can see that fat line. That's your diagram. Come on the inside of that and just cut your leg right off of there. So now we have our thighs right here. We have our legs right here. We're gonna go ahead and put those in here with the other ones I cut and get those out of our way. And then what we're gonna do is, it's time to do our breast. Now what we wanna do with our breast, I wish I could turn this. So we're gonna kind of smooth this out. What we wanna do is we wanna come in here and we wanna just cut through that bone just a little bit, okay? So right here too, your breasts have a fat line. Can y'all see that fat line right there? So we want to cut the ribs down. Same thing on the other side. You see that fat line right there? You can use shears or knife. This part to me is just easier to do with the kitchen shears, okay? Then what you're gonna have to do is you're gonna have to just break this backbone off. It might take a combination of cutting and breaking, but we've got our back off. That's your bonus for buying the whole chicken, right into our pot for our stock. Now right here is this little bone. We just want to give it a little slit right there, okay? Now what we're going to do is we're going to smooth this back over. Let's see, maybe I can turn it this way to help y'all. So now where I broke that bone on the underside, what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna just put my hand right here in the middle and I'm gonna give it a press. Could y'all hear that? Okay, so that broke that backbone. I'm gonna cut this little bit of fat piece right here off. I think I need some new kitchen shears. Okay, now, yeah, I should have dried him off first. Sorry about that. You do not want your hand slipping on your knife. Stop and dry it because you do not want to cut yourself. So now that we broke that little backbone and smoothed this out, you can just, we're going to cut right down the middle of this breast. And it's going to cut. Okay. And now we have our two breasts. Now you can, if you want, you can cut your breast in half. If depending on how you want to cook it, if you cut your breast in half, cut it here. I'm gonna go ahead and cut one for you. You just want to cut it on the diagonal. Okay, because sometimes I like to cook these up and you just have to break through that bone when you do it this way. Okay, so now you've got two smaller breasts, which is fine. I might do one more. I'll leave two of them whole and I'll cut two in half. Okay, so all you do again, you cut it on the diagonal and you just cut through the bone, which is really the rib cage. Okay, so now we have our two pieces of breast. So our chicken is all cut up. And ready to go. So what I'm doing with this chicken, I'll go ahead and get it out. What I'm doing with this chicken is I'm going to be marinating this chicken in some buttermilk. I'm going to pour buttermilk all over it, and I'm going to be covering that because tomorrow after church, I'm going to be frying some chicken up. So it's Sunday chicken at my house tomorrow. But now you guys don't have to be intimidated with cutting up a chicken. And all I've done here is I've got, plus there is necks inside of that too. So I got my neck, two necks, two backs, all my little wing tips. I'm throwing in some celery. I'm throwing in some onions. I'm throwing in some carrots. And I'm throwing in a couple of cloves of garlic. I'm going to cover this up with water, probably a couple quarts of water, and I'm going to put it on and cook it up for, I don't know, probably about maybe an hour. and then I'll take it and pour it in my strainer, and I will have fresh chicken broth. So bonus. All right, guys, go get you a whole chicken and cut it up.